Okay, so you're looking at this video because you're looking at a new air conditioning system, or maybe somebody's talking about your existing system and you want to look up what a diffuser is, or what's also called a grill. Usually they're called ceiling diffusers and ceiling grills because in most cases they're in the ceiling. There are some wall types and some floor types, especially for deluxe residential. But commercial applications, normally the diffuser or grill would be in your ceiling, just like so. This one is a four-way diffuser. So you can see here the four-way pattern that the air is coming out in all four directions. 3, 2 and 1 direction versions are also available. So you can also have it as what we call a swirl diffuser. It's circular. It has a louver set in such a pattern to try and throw the air around the ceiling. Because what we're trying to do here, we're trying to balance something. We're trying to stick to the ceiling in cooling mode so that the air travels further, and at the same time try and get the air down to the people where it's needed in heating mode. So if that's your ceiling and that's your grill, in cooling we want to be up here, but in heating we want to be down here, and we're using the same louver to do the same job. So it's a kind of compromise. We're going to do something along those lines. So these things are very useful for shops, anywhere where people are milling around quite a bit. Do be careful where people are sedentary for long periods, so offices, restaurants and so on, because we have to balance this airflow. We have to balance the volume of air that's coming through, because the more air that comes through, the more heating, the more cooling we can do. The speed that the air comes through at gives it momentum to break through the louver and to reach into the areas where we're trying to heat and cool and give us coverage. So when you're positioning these, you've got one eye on the coverage, making sure you're reaching all parts of the office or restaurant and so on, and at the same time being very careful how that affects the people who are in that space. Make sure nobody's sitting in a drafter, that one area isn't much warmer than another area, or much cooler than another area. Like I say, works really well for anywhere people are milling about, but do be careful where people are sedentary for long periods. The linear grill, you'll hear this mentioned, linear grill or linear bar grill. This is just one type, so many different types. So they'll be, as the name suggests, in a line. It can be thin and longer than this. This one happens to have adjustable blades, so we can try and get the air just so where we want it when it's installed. But they look quite nice, and they can be on the wall as well as the ceiling. Now we've also got getting the air back into the air conditioning unit. Usually we use just an egg crate, what we call an egg crate grill, because it looks like a crate of eggs, and we're just letting the air come through there. We're not worried about the velocity quite so much. We're definitely not worried about the direction, so it's quite an easy thing. But that's what it looks like if you hear it mentioned, an egg crate grill. And usually we'll have a filter up here, so usually this is where your maintenance is happening. We're cleaning the filter at this point. So do be careful about the positioning of the grills. Obviously if you're using one of our induction small duct systems, then positioning of the grills is a much easier thing. So my name is Joe Flanagan. The company is the Ingenious Air company. We're just trying to help you make the right decision for your air conditioning and heating.